The ink is barely dry. A deal has been struck, one that could change the course of history. On April 30th, 2025, the United States and Ukraine signed an agreement. It reshapes the global landscape, altering alliances and power dynamics. At its heart, Ukraine's vast mineral wealth, a treasure trove of resources. This is not just about resources, this is about power, influence, and control. The world is no stranger to such deals, having seen many over the centuries. Nations have long traded resources for influence, shaping the course of history. But this agreement resonates differently, echoing through the corridors of power. It comes at a pivotal moment, a time of great uncertainty and change. The world order is in flux, with old alliances being tested. The aftershocks of the pandemic and the war in Ukraine are still felt, reverberating globally. This deal is a tremor, a sign of deeper shifts to come. It signals a potential earthquake in the balance of global power. The ramifications are far-reaching. This agreement has the potential to reshape supply chains, affecting economies worldwide. It could redraw geopolitical alliances, creating new partnerships and rivalries. And it raises profound questions about the future of international relations. Is this the dawn of a new era of resource competition, or can cooperation prevail in this new landscape? The answers will determine the fate of nations, shaping the world for generations to come. The deal was championed by President Trump, who saw it as a pivotal moment in his administration. He has long advocated for a transactional approach to foreign policy, believing that every deal should benefit the United States. America First has been his mantra, a slogan that resonated deeply with his supporters. In Ukraine, he saw an opportunity to extend this philosophy. A nation ravaged by war, desperate for aid and international support, and in its soil, a treasure trove of resources waiting to be tapped. Trump linked aid to access, making it clear that nothing comes for free. He argued that the U.S. deserved something in return for its support. His critics cried foul, accusing him of heartlessness. They accused him of exploiting a vulnerable nation for political and economic gain, of putting a price tag on freedom. But Trump remained undeterred, steadfast in his approach. He saw it as a matter of fairness and reciprocity. The negotiations were tense and fraught with challenges. Ukraine found itself caught between a rock and a hard place, struggling to balance its needs and sovereignty. On one hand, they desperately needed American aid to rebuild their war-torn country. On the other hand, they were wary of becoming overly reliant on any one power, fearing loss of autonomy. In the end, a deal was reached, a compromise that both sides could accept. But it came at a cost, a reminder that in politics nothing is ever truly free. Ukraine is a land scarred by conflict, a nation that has endured immense hardship and devastation. But beneath its surface lies a different kind of wealth, vast deposits of minerals waiting to be unearthed, iron ore, uranium, natural gas. These resources are abundant. And most importantly, rare earth minerals, which are crucial for modern technology. These are the elements that power our modern world, driving innovation and progress. They are essential for everything from smartphones to electric cars to advanced fighter jets. For decades, China has dominated the rare earth market, controlling supply chains. This has given Beijing significant leverage in global trade and politics. The U.S. and its allies have long sought to reduce their dependence on China for these critical resources, aiming for greater autonomy. Ukraine offers a potential solution to this strategic challenge. Its reserves of rare earth minerals are among the largest outside of China, presenting a unique opportunity. The deal grants the U.S. preferential access to these resources, strengthening their strategic position. This has sent shockwaves through global markets. China is watching closely, assessing the implications. The balance of power in the rare earth market could be shifting, altering global dynamics, and the implications extend far beyond economics, touching on security and technological supremacy. This is about national security. It's about technological dominance in an interconnected world. It's about the future of global power and the shifting tides of influence. Section 4, The Dragon's Shadow. China has reacted to the U.S. Ukraine deal with predictable anger. Beijing has accused Washington of hypocrisy, of engaging in the same kind of resource grab that it has long criticized China for. The Chinese government has warned of serious consequences, but what those consequences might be remains unclear. China holds many cards. It could retaliate economically, it could step up its military activity in the South China Sea, or it could choose to play a longer game using its economic clout to undermine the U.S. Ukraine partnership. The U.S. has dismissed China's concerns. The Biden administration argues that the deal is simply about leveling the playing field. They insist that the U.S. is not seeking to contain China, but few in Beijing believe that. The U.S. Ukraine deal has further inflamed tensions between the world's two superpowers. The risk of miscalculation is growing. Section 5. A fragile peace. The U.S. Ukraine deal has also raised questions about the prospects for peace in Eastern Europe. The agreement includes no security guarantees for Ukraine. This has left Kyiv feeling vulnerable. They fear that the U.S. is more interested in exploiting their resources than in protecting their sovereignty. The deal comes at a time when Russia is becoming increasingly assertive. Moscow has been building up its military presence along the Ukrainian border, and it has stepped up its disinformation campaign aimed at destabilizing the Ukrainian government. The U.S. has condemned Russia's actions, but it remains unclear what, if anything, Washington is prepared to do to deter further Russian aggression. The U.S.-Ukraine deal has the potential to further inflame tensions in the region. It could even embolden Russia to take more aggressive action. The stakes are high. Section 6. The world is watching. The world is watching the U.S.-Ukraine deal with a mixture of fascination and trepidation. This is a deal with the potential to reshape the global order. It could usher in a new era of great power competition over resources, or it could pave the way for a more cooperative and prosperous future. The outcome depends on the choices that leaders make in the months and years to come. If they choose confrontation over cooperation, the consequences could be dire. But if they choose to work together to build a more just and equitable global system, then there is hope. The future is unwritten, the choice is ours.